It's going to be centered around successful internships, and you're going to hear it right from the mouths of our seniors. So it's going to be good advice you're going to be getting. So with that being said, I'm going to call on Said sir, one of our distinguished alumni, who is going to give us a little info about what exactly ASK-A-CEGIAN mentorship program is. So over to you, Said sir.
Do you want to show the slides or
we can share.
Okay. Okay, hi everybody. My name is Khalil, Khaleel, until we get the slides going. I graduated from CEG before any of you was born. Okay, that was 1988. Last millennium, not last century also. Today what we are doing, I did it from Tripoli. So you'll have to excuse me. Anybody from Tripoli? They all ran away. Oh, you're here. Yeah, you're here. Okay, right. So after that, I worked for a year in a company called Thermax, which is based in Pune, and then I was in Hyderabad as well. Then I went to the US, did my master's from UMass Amherst. After that, I came back to India. I wanted to be in India. After 4 years, I wasn't so happy, so I went to Malaysia. I came back in 2018, and since then I have been involved with CEG as an alumnus, doing whatever helps the institute and the students. Okay. In 2019, along with CEGAANA is the Alumni Association, the North American chapter. We started this ASK-A-CEGIAN mentorship program. The idea was because we have a large number of alumni spread across the world who have expertise in different domains. Okay. We have people like Dr. Raj Reddy. Have you heard of Raj Reddy? What is he famous for? Turing Award. You know Turing, right? Those who are anybody not in the circuits branches here? Okay, you may not know about Turing machine. You can ask your friends what's a Turing machine. The award in the name of Turing is considered to be one of the topmost awards that you can ever get. We have Raj Reddy who got that award. We have Verghese Kurian. Anybody knows about Verghese Kurian? White Revolution, right? Yes, he established the whole thing. He is an alumnus from here. Of course, everybody knows about Krishnamacharya, Srikanth, and Venkatraghavan, right? They are alumnus from here. Crazy Mohan. He is an alumnus. Unfortunately, he's not with us anymore. There are a lot of people, even now. I mean, I can simply take hours talking about simply my classmates, where they are in different places around the world. And this is the norm for CEG students. Okay, so you are in a good place. If you are here, that means you have some stuff in you. Have the aptitude. What you need to develop is the attitude. The attitude to learn. You have to remember, technology is now ever growing. You learn something today, which is today it is relevant, it's important, it's current. Go to sleep, you wake up tomorrow and it's gone, right? So you have to be very cautious about the hard disk drives. For example, I worked in a company called Quantum Corporation. They used to make hard disk drives, and that was a fantastic industry to be in. Today, most computers, laptops have started moving into solid state drives, correct? And hard disk drives are slowly going back. They'll never go away. Like tapes will never go away. You know, magnetic tapes also used to be used for storage. Those magnetic tapes are still there. They are used for massive backups where you don't need to extract the information fast. Soon they'll become totally obsolete. The hard disk drives, their usage is going down, just like your desktop computers. So things are changing. Even if you look at the hard disk drives, when I graduated in '88, the job that I got in Thermax was to develop some software package for the design processes. They made industrial boilers. So that was the first project given to me. Okay, so I was one of the lucky ones to get a computer to work with. So everybody else in my batch was jealous, because at that time computers were God, and God always gets the best place, right, in the house. So I used to work on the computer, which means I was in a room which has air conditioning. Not everything was air conditioned. Your classrooms are not air conditioned, right? Next time you come here as an alumnus, things changed. I had a hard disk drive. Can anybody guess what could have been the capacity of that hard disk drive? Sorry?
Half a GB.
Any other guess? Not that bad. It was 20 megabytes. Okay. Now one file can be 20 megabytes. The RAM was 4 kilobytes. I mean, but we still got work done. Okay. Today, if you look at it, it's people will laugh at that setup. If you say 20 megabytes for your RAM, people will think, what kind of a guy is he? Okay. And when I worked in Quantum Corporation, first time when I joined, they took me around and showed me a place. I mean, they showed me around. They want to call. So they showed me a big box like this. Not this big, this big. Was placed in one corner. What is it? That was the hard disk drive. Again, what was its capacity? That was like 4 megabytes. So things change, and every day you have to update yourself. And not all this information is going to come from textbooks, because textbooks take time to get published. The people working in the field are the ones who know that, who know what is the latest that's happening before it even comes to a newspaper or anywhere. So we wanted to use this to connect you with those kind of people who are available. So when we started, we said it will be a one-to-one mentorship program. That was the primary, that was the flagship project of the whole ASK-A-CEGIAN mentorship program. And then you go and sign up. The sign up URL is very easy to remember. It's timey.cc/ASK-A-CEGIAN, ASK-A-CEGIAN. So should be easy. When you go there, then to that web page, everything is logical from there. You sign up as a mentee, and if you want to be a mentor, you sign up as a mentor. And then we have 2 Excel sheets. And the mentees, once you sign up, you'll get access to the Excel sheet with the mentors' names. You can go through the list. All of them are from North America. Remember, this is a North American initiative. And they just tolerate me, probably because I have a visa on my passport, but I'm not there. I'm here now. I haven't been there for a long time. Basically, then you'll have that. You can, the LinkedIn profiles will be given the URL. No phone numbers or emails. You can go to the LinkedIn, check their profiles. If you think they can help you, you can contact them yourself on LinkedIn, introduce yourselves and do that. So I don't have the numbers now, but we already have it in place. The slides, maybe I'll just skip the slides, because if I talk, then one of these days we can talk about just ASK-A-CEGIAN, what it can do. Okay, you can get, you can ask questions, and there are different ways you can take help. You can take help. You can be a first-year student, sign up there, and for all 4 years, they can be a mentor who helps you with your long-term goals, what to do, what not to do, etc. You can have a situational thing. For example, one of you is interested in doing a minor, okay, and you can sign up there and then talk to them. See, these are the options that you're getting. What do you think? Okay, I want to, after this, want to go into, this is what my career plan is. Sometimes it's very difficult to know what you want to do, you know, especially when you are at the early stages of your career. So you can talk to them. You can establish, weekly meetings if both of you are free, or once in a while. All that is up to you. The only thing we request you to do is update us in the Excel sheet how the progress is. You don't have to tell us the details. You can just say, what I wanted some information, advice, suggestions on a minor that I want to choose. That's all. More than that, you don't need to give. That is also for us for statistical purposes, to see which are things that you use. Okay, that was a one-to-one program. After that, what we did was, we saw that many of you had very common questions. Okay, all of you want the same questions answered. So we tried to get speakers, and we had these webinars, especially during the pandemic, when most of you were at home and totally bored and didn't mind talking to old people with white hair in their beards, right? Now you don't tolerate that. So then we started those webinars. Many of our alumni gave talks on, like we had somebody talk on the importance of English communication. Remember one thing, same qualifications, same skills. Some people become CEOs, some people become COOs, some people just stay as engineers. What is the distinguisher? What differentiate what roles you do? It's really the soft skills. Okay. So about English communication, we in fact have a initiative on helping with the English communication, the Club AU Podium. We helped establish that. Now hopefully things are going well. The second one of the talks was on setting your career vector, in the sense of you are here, where do you want to go, how do you plan your intermediate steps, and those kind of things. Final years you think, oh, I'm already done. You're not done. Final year is when your career is about to start. Okay, everything you do before that is planning and preparing for it. Okay? So we had a bunch of some are spoke on technical topics. All those things we have done. And then the other thing that came was, normally what during our time here, we had 300 students in our batch. One batch was 330. Earlier batches had 200. Even before that, they had 100. So in that case, everybody knew everybody. Your seniors, your juniors. In fact, in many cases, you know your seniors and juniors also. All of them. I'm not talking of some, because it was a small group, but now that's not possible, right? Sometimes there's some information with students in the IT department, which doesn't get reach the students in civil department. And then the information we used to get was from our seniors. For example, when I was applying to go to the US, we didn't have all these options. So I had to talk to my seniors and get information from them. When you want to write your GRE, you want to find information. I don't think anybody writes in. Yeah, this is not a class. Just walk in and walk out. No problem. Advanced GREs, or what they call as the subject GREs, we used to have a question bank. Okay, and that question bank used to be passed on from batch to batch to batch. That sometimes gets lost. So we initiated something called the Gindi Online Database, GOLD, where all this information is stored. And we also encourage you all to share an article about your experiences. Something you think is unique, you can go there, look at it. If somebody does an internship, you can talk about that internship there. Or if you have applied for a scholarship in the US, one of your seniors is applying for a scholarship I had never heard of. Okay, write about it, write an article, so that the following batches who come will be able to go there and access that information. Okay. One of the books that we used to use for improving our English for GRE and TOEFL, a lot of you didn't know about it. Okay. I have an electronic version, so I've shared with many of you. So those kind of things gets done. That is gold. And then finally, we had something called ASAN. Introduce that. ASAN is Tamil word for teacher, right? So that's why it's called that. Don't, it's ASK-A-CEGIAN something, which I don't remember. But it was a course offered by faculty, alumni faculty based in the US. Okay. First time we offered was a mixture of several topics, and about 40 plus students registered to begin. Of course, how many completed is a small number, only 6, 7 or something completed. But I fully understand that, because once the semester starts, you start becoming more and more busy. You have a lot more things to do and very many things to commit to, and everybody's schedule is not the same. You may be in the same class, but still your schedules are different. So what happens is then many stopped coming, became irregular, etc. So what we are doing now is we are talking to the university, the vice chancellor and the registrar, to make this part of your curriculum. It was part, but you are not getting credit then. So if you're not getting credit, what's the point? Right now, we want the university to give credit for this course so that it becomes one of the electives. Of course, they have come back to us and given their input. We worked on it and we have gone back to them. So back and forth, it will take a little time. That's what I was telling all the final years who are sitting here. Whatever you do is not for you. It's for your juniors. Okay? But that's how progress is made. If we think only about ourselves, we are finished. Okay. So that's the fourth component. So that's what ASK-A-CEGIAN is about, right? How much time did I take? I usually, when I say 5 minutes, I take 10 minutes. Today I took one. Yeah, I mean, If you let a teacher get to the stage, that's what happens. Okay, so I'll stop with this. If you have any more specific questions, you can talk to me, or we can have another day when we have a more detailed discussion. Okay, today I'll pass it back to Yogesh, and you can start listening to your friends about their internship experiences. Okay, and if you want us to arrange anything, you think something that can be useful to you, then just let us know. Okay, and then through the campus ambassadors, you guys should introduce yourselves also, okay, so that they know who to talk to. Right? Thanks.
So it was a warm introduction from Syed sir. Thank you, sir, for joining with us. So now we'll be moving forward to the event, ASK-A-CEGIAN Mentorship Programming for Internship. So our first speaker would be Sriniketan from IT department. So Sriniketan did his internship in Visa, and he also got his PPO. So yeah, I would like to introduce Sriniketan as our first speaker of ASK-A-CEGIAN.
You can just give a brief intro about yourself, a couple of minutes, and then we
Hi everyone, I'm Sriniketan from IT department over here. I did my summer internship in Visa Bengaluru, payments processing company. And yeah, initially, I guess I was too tall. Oh, okay.
Tell me when to stop.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. You're not that tall. So yeah, thank you for the opportunity. For the opportunity to share my experiences. So yeah, what can I say? So yeah, I want to deal. Yeah, so, okay.
So that was all about Sriniketan. Now we'll moving to the second speaker of our mentorship program. Our second speaker is Vishnu Ganeshan from IT department. Vishnu did his internship in Samsung R&D, based in Pan.
Hi guys, so my name is Vishnu. Thank you for the intro, Yogesh.
just make sure you're visible.
Yeah, it's like. So yeah, my name is Vishnu. I did my summer intern in Samsung. I think the second year sem break. Third year sem break. So it was a really nice time there in Bangalore. So let's talk more about it. So thank you.
Now moving on to our third speaker, Purvaja from ECA department. She did her internship in City Corp.
So hi all, I'm Purvajaji from ICE, currently doing final year. I did my intern in City as ICG summer analyst. Thank you.
So our next speaker is Aditi R from Geoinformatics department. She's doing internship in ISRO.
Hello all. So I am Aditi. I am from Geoinformatics. I am currently in my 7th semester. Just recently for this previous summer internship I did at one of the labs of ISRO in Ahmedabad. And I'll discuss what all I learned, how I applied, and how you all can also do the same, irrespective of which department you belong to. I'll talk about it in a while. Thank you for this opportunity.
So our last speaker for our event is Abhishek R from ECA department. He's currently doing his communication intern in IIT Madras.
So I'm done. Yeah, not doing. Yeah. So I'm from EC department, final year. So I've just completed my research internship at the WE department at IIT Madras on wireless communication. We'll talk about the rest of the things.
Don't worry about that. So that Can you just make sure that everybody is visible simultaneously so that you don't have to stand up? Just check that everybody Can you just move a little bit behind so that the light falls on your faces? If you want, you can switch on.
Sir, is it fine?
Yeah, is it okay? You look okay or makeup man? Yeah, you're okay.
So we are starting with our first speaker, Sriniketan. Please, sir.
You can just sit there and talk.
Actually, is it too far, no, sir? They can't hear.
You
It's
cannot
too,
hear, is it?
like they can't hear. It's too far.
So check if you can hear. I'll go out.
I'll just have to put this there. Guys, you all wait for 2 minutes. We'll get back to you. Guys, am I audible to you from this range? Talk to the people. Like if yes, you can type it in the chat. Like, are you audible? So yeah, I guess it's audible from here, so we can start.
Yeah, I can hear you.
So let's have an open discussion about our preparation. I'll start with the preparation of how we prepare for the internship. So our internship opportunities was presented through the campus, so it was an on-campus opportunity. And we were informed by our seniors, like around the second year break or so, that we will be having our internship drive starting from the third year. And that's how we got to know. Like we got to know 3-4 months before the actual internship drive. So the internship drive usually starts at the start of the third year for all the branches, I guess. So and regarding my preparation, I had an idea of what competitive programming is like by joining college. So usually you'll be having an initial online test that would be a test or test. And people get shortlisted. I don't know what to say. I'd say like there will be like 300 or so applicants. So depending on the company, they shortlist around like 50. It will go from 10 to 15. So depending on the company for the second round. And for the second round, it would be usually a technical interview followed by a HR interview, and that again depends on the company. So regarding the preparation, like my policy is all about having fun while preparing. Like coding, if you sit for like 5-6 hours and code, it would be a very a draining process from my perspective. So it's about having good peers, motivated peers, and then hanging around with them and then like sitting with them to code for like 5-6 hours. That's how I spent my days. Like few days before the intern drive that happened. So I used to sit with 4 of my colleagues who were like very motivated about it. We sat and we like started coding. We wouldn't be looking at the hours that we spent while coding, and then we will be having some days very good days, like we'll be solving like 10 problems or 15 problems in a day, and some days we'll be stuck in just one problem, and it's very common to happen. But finding a peer group who can, like mutually you can build yourself with them is something that is, I feel it's necessary to make the process fun. So what else do you have?
Yeah, so it's almost what Sri Niketan said. Everyone you like when you finish your second year, you'll have your second. When you finish your second year, you'll have a long break of 2 months. But that 2 months is the main time where you start to learn something. So what happened to me was I had a senior of our college, and he was a purple tech student. So I used to talk to him. So he's the one who guided me completely. So like, talk to your seniors; they're really gonna help you. So he's the one who like taught me what to study, where to study, from what like I didn't know because you won't get this competitive programming knowledge from your staff from the college. It's something which you ask from your seniors or your friends. Okay. So the thing is, the senior asked me to learn a language properly first. So when you take a language, you need to know everything about the language. But I'm sure you won't know everything about the language. It's starting, but then it's a learning process. So first, basically, you need to know about the data structures and stuff of one language because there's a myth that if you know a lot of languages, then you are a genius. Nothing like that. You've got to program in one language. So just learn one language properly. So that when you know the data structures, then start moving to solve problems. So Srini had a peer to do that, but I was alone. But this thing happens when you take a question. It may take 1 week also to get completing it, or in a day you might complete more than 10 to 20 questions and feel like you are the king of coding. But trust me, when you sit for the exam, you won't remember any of the code which you studied. But the thing is, you need to know the logic of every code when you work out. So when you take a question, you shouldn't directly go and sit coding. You need to know what is the question. You need to understand the question, and then you should build a logic and write the code. I would just say write the pseudocode. In first years you would have learned pseudocode thing. So just write the pseudocode, and then you start coding. Then obviously you know where your mistakes are in your code. So when you build a logic for a question, the thing is the companies just check like how is your logic. I know what happens is first round will be an online round. For that you need to code properly and clear all the test cases. So once you finish the first round and you go for a technical round happens in 2 ways. One thing is either they look at your resume and just look at your projects and they'll start asking from the projects, or they will give you a problem solving question. They'll ask you to get the solution, and they'll give you some 1 hour, and nearly it's not possible to give the solution. But what they look on it is they look whether you're building the logic properly. So if you guys are done with the logic, then obviously you'll clear the round. Because you can't get the solution. There are genius friends here, you guys can get. But the thing is, if you get the logic right, then it's mostly done. So just focus on the logic and the programming language, and things will happen eventually. One more thing is, as he said, enjoy the process. You don't need to stress on it because I'll tell you something. Samsung is one of the top companies which comes to our college. That means I wasn't placed for the first 2-3 months. So you obviously will feel depressed, and you're like, oh, we won't get the internship, we are not fit for that. Nothing like that. When I can get something, anybody can get that. Okay. So just relax, trust the process, and enjoy the process. Just keep coding. If you don't know something, just stop it, come out, take break, talk to your friends, your families, your loved ones, and then get back to coding again. You will get it. Okay. So that's from my side for corporate thing. Generally corporate happens like this. They keep your online test and then technical round. Then you will have a HR round. Depends upon the company. He said everything right there about the companies, because every all the companies are different. They hire in a different way. So some of the companies won't even shortlist you for the online test. Some of them will take you till the HR and then you'll be rejected in the HR. So I'm just talking the harsh truth because this all happens in reality. So fine, just relax, stay positive, and talk to people if you feel low. Because obviously you'll feel low when you aren't getting selected for a long time. So just chill, relax, and then you get it. Over to
So before we talk about research intern preparation, this will be completely irrelevant. So I think it will be better if we give this one and then we come.
Yes. Yeah, Purvaja, can you also add on the resources that you use?
Yeah. Regarding the online test, firstly, I had like 4 sections. Usually they ask like aptitude, technical English, and then technical part related to the errors and what is output, and then coding part. So these four sections balance it. It depends on the company. Like Amazon had only the coding part. ASK-A-CEGIAN had the aptitude and the coding part. So from my point for city, I had these four sections. Regarding aptitude, I followed a website called indiabiz.com. So in that there are various topics and related problems too with solutions and formulas. It gives some basic idea. I would say that it will directly give you the questions that will be asked in online aptitude test, but it will equip you with the basic knowledge. That's regarding the review round. Then for technical round, they will test based on the strength of a syntax in C, C++. And nowadays they are asking Java. The companies are expecting Java, so it's better to learn that too. Then for the communicative, like technical English round, you can attend on your own. Like I didn't prepare that much for it. There are some technical terms, synonyms like that, and comprehension and my viewpoint towards the situations. Coming to the coding part, like all DSA concepts are very important. I followed the HackerRank coding platform. I used it. What I want to say is, like initially, I would take like 15 to 20 minutes for solving a problem, and if I was not able to find the solution, I would directly go view the logic and then complete the problem. The issue here is after 3 weeks or 4 weeks, when you are asked the same question, you won't be able to get it back because at that time you would have understood the logic, but after 3 weeks you won't remember it. So it's better you try it on your own and get the solution on your own, because the solution is always available, but you have to build your own knowledge first. So that's regarding my coding round. And then for Amazon, I was selected for the second round. They asked fees, at that time I was not equipped with that DSA. So what I recommend is be equipped with all the DSA concepts at first, so that you won't regret afterwards, because it was an easy question, but at that time, since I didn't know, I was not able to get it. Afterwards, I learned it and I got city. Then regarding the second round, I had technical round. They analyzed me based on my resume. Like they asked me to explain about the projects. At that time, I had two hardware projects inside the VCA. I had two hardware projects and two software projects. I thought they won't ask any info about the hardware projects, but they did. Like at that time, I had the project called 5G antenna design. So they asked about what was 5G, what was the difference and the updatement from 4G to 5G, who first implemented it, has it been implemented in India. So basically what they want to check is whatever you have in the resume, it's true and you know about it. Regarding my two software projects, I did it in a learning platform called Versio on React.js front-end development. So it's better to have a certification from the learning platforms too, like Coursera, Jira, so that it will be an added point during the interviews. Then for technical round, it's like that. For the HR round, they asked really personal questions like about families, the songs that I would like to hear, the places that I recently traveled. So answer confidently and be true. That's important. Throughout the interview, be interactive and don't have an abrupt silence. Even if you don't know the answer to a complex question, try to explain your basic knowledge about it, so that they might like your approach too. So that's all from my side.
Okay, so basically, most of them have talked about coding and programming. What I did was not at all related to anything that we have spoken. My perspective will be completely different. So what I did was a research internship. It was not a corporate or an industry-based internship. It was a research internship. I did at one of the research labs of ISRO. It's called Physical Research Laboratory in Ahmedabad. So I went there for 2 months, and I don't know if a lot of people know here, but I did in remote sensing. So remote sensing is one of the engineering tools, you can call it, that I study as part of my course here, and I used it as an application-oriented work there. So my field of study was mostly on planetary sciences. So I studied Mars surface and Earth surface using remote sensing technique. That was one of the main things that I did there. So how I applied for this internship was, I applied to their official portal. It's called Indian Academy of Sciences. So they have a website, and every year they have a summer internship for 2 months where you can apply through the portal, and mostly they take under second year and third year undergraduates. From our BE course, if you talk about, you can apply when you're in second year, you can apply in the third year for summer internships. And the most important criteria in your application, it's not your CGPA. I mean, they do consider mark sheets also, but I won't say that CGPA is the most important thing. Anytime you are applying for such research internship, the most important thing is statement of purpose, which again you will come through if you go further for masters. This statement of purpose will again come into your life. So I think having a statement of purpose during the time of internship will give you very nice practice. So you can improvise your SOP very well when you finally graduate from undergrad. So statement of purpose is very important. You need to give them a clear idea that okay, this is what I want to do. You may not have a proper topic that this is the project that I want, but you need to show them through your words that you are very interested, that you are very interested, and you are ready to spend as much of time that they require. So you need to impress them through your SOP. This is one most important thing. Second most important thing is the letters of recommendation. So I applied and I had to give 2 letters of recommendation. You can give letters of recommendation from the professors in your own department, or even if you have a kind of an alibi with some professor from any other department also, you can approach them for an LOI. Or even if you have done some previous internship or some previous work elsewhere other than your college, you can approach them also for an LOR. So LOR is another very, very crucial thing that that differentiates your application from other applications, because they get hundreds of applications. So they can't be reading each and everything and reading each and every LOR, each and every SOP. So there must be something that is easy to stand out from the rest of the application. So that is your statement of purpose and the LOR that you get from which professor. Make sure that you just don't randomly approach any professor and say, okay, sir, please can you write an LOR from me? No. Make sure that you have worked with them. Make sure that they know who you are. They know what are your talents. They know what you can achieve. Then only they can be able to describe you. That is very, very important when you approach a professor. You just make sure that. And what else? Okay, yeah, obviously interning with ISRO is an amazing experience. I can't even tell you in words. It may be possible after some time. I'll show you a couple of pictures from the labs and all the network. So it's amazing experience. Once you go there and you have this offline internship in any of the ISRO lab, anywhere. I did it in Ahmedabad. You can do it in Hyderabad. There is one. In Bangalore, there is one. Anywhere, any ISRO lab. It's very motivating. Once you are inside, you would feel like you're in a different world. It's so exhilarating. Everybody. I take it for an example. When I was there, it was the time of Chandrayaan-3 launch. So everybody was very too much hyped up for that launch, and even like they would work at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. till 9, midnight, there would be no time restriction. They say that it's like a 9 to 5 working hours, but nobody follows that 9 to 5 working hours. It's always like 12 to 12, 24-hour work. But you won't even feel the stress. You won't get tired, because that's how motivating and energetic and exciting it is. You will do a little amount of work, but then you was doing 10 times more. So that won't be depressing, but that will actually motivate you to, okay, if this guy is doing so much, then I have to do, I have to do. So that energy is there. That's very refreshing. You all need to have that experience. Not just ISRO, any research internship you do, make sure you do it offline. Online good research internships are also there. Plenty of online portals are there. They can do online internships also. But offline internships, especially for research oriented work, is very good. That will give you the drive that okay, this is what I want to do. It will give you a clear mindset as to what you want. Because I think most at this point in time, most of it will be confused as to what I want to do in future, what field of study, or what I want to pursue. Once you get a couple of internships, you get an idea, okay, whether you are interested in what you did or whether you want to try something new or explore a different area. So internships are very good in that aspect. That's why I would encourage you at this point of time to apply to as many places as possible. Open your eyes and ears, because anytime any portal comes up, nobody will come and tell you, okay, this is the date sheet. Today this portal is opening up. You can apply here. This is the deadline. Nobody is telling you. We are here, you can approach seniors anytime, but you need to keep your eyes and ears open. You need to make your mind that, okay, this is what I want to do. These are the places that give me the opportunity to achieve it. Keep looking, keep looking, keep looking. I can even use the word stalking itself. Keep stalking people's profiles on the internet. Okay. Keep stalking them. Okay, this is what I'm doing, this is what they're doing. They're here, that will help you to know that this is my field of interest and this guy is also doing the same interest. So okay, I should approach them. I should approach them. So you need to have an energy. If you are research oriented, you need to be 24/7 alert. This is one very, very important thing there. And yeah, that's all from me.
So from my end also, I have a lot in common with what he just talked about. So mine was again a research internship, but my case, it was at IIT, it was at an education institution. So that's the only difference. So in my case, before we get into details of how do we choose the institution, how do we choose the professor, etc., etc. Doing a research internship at an IIT or an IISc, how does it help? So let me start with that. Or who should do this? To whom does this do a lot of good? So that's the area where I want to start. So this will make a lot of difference if you are going to apply for masters or if you are going to apply for PhD abroad. This will make a lot of difference to your resume. So that is one thing. Another place where this will be of use is if you're going to get placed in top core companies. So you're going to look at people, I think 2 people from our branch, DC branch, got placed in Silicon Labs last time. And both of them had done a research internship. One had done in IT Kanpur and the other guy had done in Silicon Labs itself. So this research internship concept will be useful if you're going to go deep into both sides. If you're going to go into research or if you're going to go to masters or if you're going to go into top core companies, this will be of use. So that's the first thing. After that, how do you choose the institution? So if you're looking at India, most of us would want to do a research internship at top IITs or IISc. A lot of people forget IISc. A lot of people think talk about IITM, NIT, Trichy and all in Tamil Nadu, but a lot of them forget IISc. So look at IISc website as well. There are research internship available at IISc Bangalore. It's not pure science. They have EC related research also going on. I'm from EC, so I'll be talking a lot on EC. You can extend the link to your branch as well. So that's how you choose the institution. After that, looking for the professor. So I'll go with a specific example. So let's take IIM. The way I went is you first go into the electrical engineering department website of IIM. After that, there are 6 sub branches. Okay, so communication signal processing, etc., etc. There are 6 sub branches. Go into the exact area where you want to go into and look into the various professor profiles. You can look at something called as Google Scholar site, right? So you can look at the Google Scholar profile and you can look at what are the latest research papers that the particular professor has done. What is the number of citations that the particular thing has got? What are the kind of conferences or journals in which the papers have been published? These are all things that you can look into to start with. So after doing a little bit of research in this particular area, you will get a clarity. This is the guy who I want to do my work with. So that's one thing. The other aspect is you might want to also talk to people who are actually there at IITM or actually there at IIC, and you can figure out if the faculty is very friendly, etc., etc. These things you can't find in internet, right? So these are also some things that you might want to think about. So this is how you choose the faculty. But getting selected for an internship at IIT is actually, to be very frank, it's very tough. Okay? So without knowing the professor, it's actually very tough. Most of the cases, it's a case where the person has already done an NPTEL course at with that professor and he's performed very well, or he has done something, some connection you must have with that professor, or you must have a letter of recommendation, a very strong letter of recommendation from our professors. One professor knows the other professor there. That's the kind of way usually people get research internships at IITs. So that's one thing. The way I got it is I had done something called as an IIT. Madras launched the first online BSc degree a couple of years ago on data science. So I was there the first batch of that particular course. And I completed a course called Statistics for Data Science under Andrew Kangaraj sir, who's a professor at IIT Madras W department. So, and I happened to perform well in that particular course. So I wrote to him. I mean, we apply through the. I mean, I have a lot to repeat from what Aditi said. You're not going to be notified about the websites and all that. You're not going to receive anything like that. You have to keep checking the IIT website and you apply. And other than this application, you also have to personally approach them using mail. Just application doesn't work 99% of the time, right? So what you need to do after applying is you need to approach the particular faculty. So approach the particular faculty. Usually, if you've done, coming back to my example, I have done a course under Andrew Kangaraj sir, and I approached Andrew sir saying I have done a course under you. This is my performance. These are the recent works in which I've done research in my department. Can I work with you? That's the kind of mail I wrote to him, and he got back to me saying he connected me to a couple of other IIT professors, to Professor Devendra Jailal and Professor Radhakrishna Ganti. Radhakrishna Ganti is the head of the 5P testbed lab at IIT Madras. So he put me to those two professors, and I ended up doing a research internship under DJ sir in this particular summer. So it is supposed to be a military related research internship, so I can't reveal a lot on what I exactly did. So, but this is how you go about it. You choose the institute, you go to the users, search about the professor, both academically and non-academically, apply through the website, and then approach the professor through mail. So this is the basic outline, and yeah, that's about the part.
So, you guys have any questions for the panel? Any questions in the chat? So, one question we got from the chat is that is CGPA important? If there, how much is enough? And also, I am IT department. I am still confused with language and which language is better for TSA to start with.
So the question was about the language class. So I'll talk about that, then I'll come to the CGPA. The better languages for competitive programming is going to be C++ and Java. And I'm not sure about Python, but if you guys really want that, I can't assure you for Python, but there are options for using Python as well. So according to me, if you ask, I would suggest Java because in C there are some concepts which are confusing. Like in C++ there are some concepts which are confusing, like pointers and etc. So for me it was really confusing. So when you go to Java, you won't have this pointer at all. So it will be a bit easy for you to learn. And if you know C++ and use, I think it's the 80%, right?
Yeah.
So obviously you'll have learned C++ or C. So if you know any of these languages, it's easy to convert to Java. So I would prefer Java, and I coded in Java. About the CGPA thing, it depends upon the company, but minimum of 7.5 is the minimum CGPA. So you need to have above it. And there are some companies setting it's RCSM and City Corp. So they used to sort of filter you out with your CGPA so that you won't be able to write online test if you have a lower CGPA. So it's always better to be in a safer side and have more CGPA. So always it is better. Even when you come talking about PPO, it might affect your PPO if you have CGPA low. So better to have a good CGPA. And about the languages, I would suggest Java. But if you have anything to add on?
Yeah, when it comes to CGPA, the higher the better. So that's what I can say. And talking about languages, yes, as you mentioned, like when you get into competitive programming, C++ followed by Java would be the ideal option. But initially, I started with Python, and like Python was very much expressive for me because like I can think of a logic and directly express it through Python. But if you've started with Python and if you feel that's your comfortable language, then go for it. And talking about C++ and Java, you need to understand why certain languages were built as well. So when you take up Java, it would be very advantageous because when you work in like most corporate companies, they are currently Web 2.0, what to say, they are pretty much involved in full stack development. And Java is a pretty much strong language there. So when you are a Java developer, you have very good chances of getting through these interviews, and you would be much more useful, and your internship experience would be much more resourceful, like when you take up Java, because that is pretty much relevant at this moment. And when you take up a research intern or like a machine learning intern, Python would be pretty much useful for them. And what else?
Since the asked question was from IT department, I guess we had Java learned it, but some people tried chance to study Java. So I did the coding on CEGAANA.
Being an electric PC student,
Actually, I was during my 11th class, I was in CS stream. In between only I was in the ACA stream, but starting itself, I was looking towards a software. So,
do you find it difficult to
Yeah, so if you ask people, there you have your comfort zones. So if you're really comfortable with C++, go with C++. If you're really comfortable with Java, I would suggest it's a better option. And Python, so okay, so Srini has coded in Python, and yeah, Python. If you want, if you're really comfortable with, you can do. But whenever you go get into a job, either it is Java or Python, because I worked in Python. I did my coding course in Java, but Samsung is a research institution, so most of the research uses something called as Python. So some Python is to be, you'll be working on Python mostly if you're inside a research institute. But when you want to code in the online platform while coding, there sometimes there might be limitations. You'll be allowed to even write code in JavaScript as well. So better is Java or C++ or Python. Sorry.
feel like language is just a method, medium for expression. If you be like well versed in the topics, the basic concepts that you learn. So when you are good with that, I don't think a language would be that much of a thing. So,
The logic is the thing which matters.
We'll be switching the laptops.
Oh, okay.
We'll share. Oh yeah. So we have few.
There's not one single website. It's basically internship come under academy. So there are 3 Academy of Sciences in India. Each of these 3 have like their own website. You can approach any of the 3 websites. So I'll tell you one, the Indian Academy of Sciences. You can just Google it. You find that there are 3 academies under this IAS. It's called IAS, Indian Academy of Sciences. There are 3 different academy institutions. One is headed in Bangalore. I think another one is in Mumbai or something. There are 3 different places, 3 academies. In any of the 3 websites, you can apply. They have their admission portals. So mostly they have summer as well as winter internships. They also have. So summer internship, it usually opens around the time of January, February. So if you are planning to do internship in the month of May to July, so the portal will open around January. So since that time, you can just keep looking in the websites. They also have winter internships also. So you look for that around the time of October. And when you get to your final years, you can also have like a proper 6-month final year project you can do there. like which I am planning. Okay, next semester I don't have any other electric or theory courses to do here. So I'm completely free the next semester. So I'm planning on going back to PR where I did some internship. And I have talked with my professor also. So I'm planning to do my 6 months project also here. That is another thing you can do. Instead of just internship, you can work long time also here. So that you can do by maintaining a good contact. So yeah, ISRO internships, you would find in any of the academy website.
Let's take questions from here. So, how many questions for you?
Yeah. So when it comes to coding, how can we improve on logic building?
Practice is the only thing you can do. Keep on practicing a lot of questions, automatically you'll get the logic building. And watch, whenever you have free time, just watch some YouTube videos. Because when you watch something in a graphical way, it will be more useful. But practice is the main. You got to code a lot of questions. Obviously, you'll get a lot. If you see it, then you'll see a similar question, then you implement the logic which you have seen already. So programming the question with your logic is the main.
And be consistent. At least do every one program again, but do it. Yeah, that should be.
A new question for you guys. So the person who's asking this question is from IT department. So what project did you suggest for
Projects.
like what project did you suggest to work on for the
Okay, so like when it comes to projects, what they expect is the purpose of the project. Why do you do the project and what purpose does it solve or what problem does it solve? So focus more on that. Take up projects, that has an impact or that has a real world impact or a solution. That's how, for my resume, I had a project, during our symposium, we had a lot of applications coming in and some guy, he ran a Python script and created a DDoS attack on our server, but we had to solve that problem. So what I created was a network capper so that it will block the request coming from a particular IP address after five requests. So that actually did really solve the problem. And my interviewer was pretty much into it, and he asked me much more questions regarding how I implemented that. So look for projects that has some real world impact and not just one first thing it should be you should be learning a skill out of it, but other than that, it should also solve a real world problem. So that's what we are pretty much interested in. Yeah.
I think we answered the question. So anything novel is going to help you in research. So do something which is correct. The interview will be getting pressed. So
you guys have any questions for us?
Actually, nobody did the complete course. There are no many courses around maybe
NPTEL was that's the best option. You have like quality material from. And when it comes to courses, you asked Sam mentioned everyone would buy a course, start it, and then it will be like 5% of completion. That's it. When you take up NPTEL, we have a 2-month period where you have to write your exams. So take up NPTEL. So that would be the first thing. And then you always have your Coursera and everything. So yeah.
So for me, it was YouTube. I haven't done any course, but YouTube helps well. If you want to really learn something, it was a YouTube for me, but I don't know any of the other things. So I think
YouTube has everything.
But you have everything in YouTube. So if you really want to know, but you won't get the certificate if you're doing this. So
certificates, you can go for NPTEL or Coursera.
NPTEL will be more powerful because it's long. Doesn't matter, but it's more added.
But it would be just a conversation starter, in your interview. Like when you have a kid people will be more interested in what they actually learn from it. So they start testing. So actual knowledge is pretty much more important than your certificate. So
it's more of an observation. I've done big MBA courses now. If you're from a subject scratch, I don't okay. So if you're going to look at theory courses and stuff, which you want a lot of maths in it, you want derivations done, and all these that kind of thing, NPT is a very good option. If you wanted to do a course on ML, let's say, I would say, or let's say you want to learn MATLAB. MATLAB on-ramp course is a much better option than the MATLAB course that's being offered by NPTEL. Because NPTEL course will be, that would have been recorded 4-5 years before. Machine learning courses also will have a lot of linear algebra coming your way. If you do it on NPTEL, there'll be a lot of math coming your way. If you want more of a lot of programming and less maths, then Coursera or Udemy is better. Especially machine learning and all, I would prefer Coursera or Udemy. If you're doing something, let's say I want to learn signal systems, I want to learn something like that, then NPTEL is better. So
any course you do, stay consistent and finish the course. Because
Yeah,
a lot of people, they started, including me, they started and they will stop it a bit. And because when you come to college, you'll have a lot of work for the college side. So stay consistent with whatever you do. If it is programming or if it is a course, stay consistent. Consistency is the key. So, yeah.
So there is a question, so we can have a last question to wind up the session with. So you guys have any questions to ask?
How many courses did you start?
I just started one with a costly amount. Then I stopped it in between. Yeah, the course, I think in Udemy, I took a Python course. Yeah. So that was around 600 to 700 rupees for the course. And then once I came, that was on the online time. So once I came to the campus, it got too busy and I couldn't practice. Then I didn't want to start another course with a course paying. That was the only course they did. Then YouTube came as a lifesaver and it gave all the required knowledge.
You paid for not learning, but you learned.
I got it. So that's the main thing. Can I say? Okay. No. So there's a channel called Take You Forward for programming. So for he will give you the basics of all the things and he will advance you teach everything. The channel name is Take You Forward. He gives code for C++ and Java, but the main thing what he does is the logic building, which is the most important thing. So that's why I prefer the logic is the main thing. You need to know the content. If you talk in Hindi or English or anything, that doesn't matter. The content matters. So that's it.
So I think we can wind up the session.
On behalf of ASK-A-CEGIAN, I would like to thank Ketan, Vishnu, Abhishek, Purvajan, Aditi for being here and sharing valuable insights. I'd also like to show my sincerest appreciation to the CEGAANA Board and the CEGAANA Facilitator team. I would thank my fellow ambassadors. I would also like to thank the participants because of whom this event is possible. Yeah, I believe we have learned so much here, and that we have so much information about what internships to apply and what's the process of getting a research internship and the mindset, lifestyle, etc. Yeah, thank you so much. We'll hopefully meet in the next session.
Guys, we have ambassadors from CEGAANA program CEG. He's Yogesh from IT final year. I am Nitin from EC final year. She is Artie from civil second year, and she's Priya from CS third year.
If you want any help, you can talk to us, reach out.
Yeah, if you want any sessions to conduct in future for yourself, so you can reach out on what all sessions you want us to conduct for you guys. And you can also drop in suggestions on how the event can be conducted. Thank you. Stop recording and